Yo, it's your boy Casual Rel with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one. And a quick one at that. Yo, hit that like button. Helps us get eyes on the show. And more importantly, continue to subscribe, man. If you got the time, we appreciate that love. And for this, let's get straight back into it. We finally made it back, right? We appreciate everybody that was rocking out with us over the weekend. We were down in Norfolk, Virginia for the Abdullah Mason, top ranked ESPN card that went down. That was supposed to be obviously Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos. But it is what it is. It is what it was. But more importantly, we appreciate everybody rocking out for our 3-minute fight drill, our 3-minute fight breakdown for the likes of Opetaia and Claudio. And it went down just about as we expected. It was a TKO stoppage or knockout. I didn't expect a broken jaw, though. Shout out to that man. Shout out to Opetaia because that power is real. If you read one of our titles here, the real power of Opetaia, the man with a bad overhand left, snapped the jaw of Mr. Claudio, who was a warrior. He walked in there, the man from Italy. He gave it his all. He didn't back down, and he's one of the only fighters right now willing to take on the likes of Mr. Opetaia right now. It seems like everybody is scared in the cruiserweight division. Now, I know we did get a call out, I believe, from Mr. Martinez, who got him a little scrap on Friday, I believe. But we're focused on the champions. There's no more running, no more hiding, no more dodging. And who we're talking about, Mr. Gilberto Ramirez. His fight's coming up soon here at the end of the month, June, on the undercard of Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And I expect Gilberto Ramirez to win his fight. And I'm more interested after he wins that fight, as he should, he's the heavy favorite. Will we finally see this man not only just call out and accept the challenge from Mr. Opetaia, but is he actually going to follow through on the contract and get it signed, sealed, delivered for a fall, early, now let's just say fall. It's probably be a late fall mashup between these two. No more hiding, no more ducking, no more dodging because the time is right. You both will have fights 3 weeks outside of each other, 2.5, 3 weeks outside of each other. You're both going to handle business. Mr. Opetaia definitely handled his, breaking his opponent down as he should have, as he did, and displayed his real power. I'm really interested here after Gilberto Ramirez wins his fight. Again, he should win that fight. After seeing the power yet again displayed from Mr. Opetaia, that thudding power, that aggressiveness, that proper aggression from Mr. Opetaia and how he broke his man down. No one wants a broken jaw, and speedy recovery to Mr. Claudio. How does Gilberto Ramirez see this fight now? Is he really willing to get in there and get that kind of punishment? Willing to take what he has to do to fight a man like Mr. Opetaia? Now, I do believe he will accept the fight. Just that, the Mexican fighters, man, they are something special as well. And they usually don't back down. I'm more concerned about the business behind Mr. Gilberto Ramirez, the suits, the business of boxing. Will they let him go in there and take on this kind of threat like Mr. Opetaia from Australia? Will they let this man go in there and fight a power puncher, an aggressive puncher like this at this time in his career? I believe Gilberto Ramirez is going to have to actually probably force his backers, force his promoters, force the business behind him to get on board and make this undisputed fight, and let's push for greatness. It'll be a good matchup when it finally does happen. But after what was displayed over this weekend, the power, the precision, the proper aggression, I just hope we don't see any more excuses because of the great performance Mr. Opetaia put on. Now, I can't write too high on what he did. Mr. Claudio was there. He was a heavy underdog. You're supposed to beat a man like that. But it was more so on the fact of how he beat him. Not just a knockout. One clean, effective shot on the jaw of Claudio with a delayed reaction, took a knee, And you could see it in his face as he could not move his mouth. That is a power of destruction. Sometimes you can get knocked out and, get back up and recover, quickly. The fight's obviously over, but you can recover quickly from a knockout, as long as there's no real head or brain damage, right? But when you start taking physical damage like breaking bones, popping ligaments, excessive bruising and swelling and bleeding, it's those type of injuries that last for a long time and really make fighters question what type of fight they really want to take. See, it's okay to get knocked out. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, for example, is a knockout artist, but he wasn't one that was just going to bruise you all the way up. He had that quick bomb, that quick snap and turn your lights off, right? And then most of the guys he fought recovered pretty quickly. But when it comes to that bruising nature, that thudding power, that constant beat up, even if you didn't get knocked out, it's the bruising, it's the muscle ligaments being torn, bruised, swollen, the bones probably cracking and breaking on the inside. Fighting a guy like George Foreman, may he rest in peace. Fighting a guy like, even Mike Tyson in his early days, heavy bruiser, heavy puncher. Ernie Shavers, heavy puncher, heavy bruiser. Those kind of guys, even though they might not have knocked you out right away and turned your lights off real quick, it was how you walked out after the fact, the long-lasting damage. And that's what Mr. Opetaia himself right now is showing to the sport of boxing in the cruiserweight division. He's got some life-changing power. And some power that's making these guys rethink what kind of fight they really want to see. The real power, Mr. Opetaia, he's here, he's arrived, he's on the scene, and he's letting it be known he was on the zone. He said clear and frank, he wants that unification. Will we see Mr. Gilberto Ramirez accept this fight now after what he saw? And especially depending on what type of performance he puts on the Jake Paul undercard. We, the fans, have to push for it, though. We got to make him almost feel guilty, Mr. Gilberto Ramirez, because we know where Ja is. We got to push him to push his backers in business, meaning we got to push Gilberto Ramirez to push his backers and his business to make this fight finally happen. There's no more hiding. There's no more ducking. There's no more excuses. It's cruiserweight division, which I pretty much consider just like the heavyweight division. This is where the big boys swing. This is where power relies. But there's also skill sets in this thing, and that's where Gilberto Ramirez lies at, right? And that fact for Mr. Opetaia. We got to make this fight happen. We got to make the matchup happen so we can know who is the baddest man in the cruiserweight division. Get this signed, sealed, delivered before we oversaturate, over-marinate the situation. Let's get it done. There's no more excuses. The timing is right. Assuming Gilberto Ramirez handles his business, there is no way this fight should not happen. They're both on the zone. Both got good promoters. Both got good backing. The money is there. The fans are there. And more importantly, the last thing I'm going to say here, for the fans, we got to push this and push it hard and make them make this fight. Even if we got to get Mr. Turkey Al-Sheikh to step in and make something else happen in there as well. Hate that always Turkey's got to come in and throw money around. It should not be that way. It should really be the pressure of the boxing world, but more importantly, the pressure of trying to be great in the sport of boxing. I believe that's where Mr. Opetaia is, and I'm waiting to see if Mr. Gilberto Ramirez is going to get there as well. I believe he will, but let's get this fight going. Either way, man, we talk way too long on this. It's your boy Cash Rub with Sunday Podcast. Hit that like button as always. Subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that love. Until the next time. Peace.